Tax is a key source of revenue for most of the countries around the globe. However, there are a few countries and territories that levy none or less taxes on their residents. Instead, they have sources of revenue to fund their government, such as banking, tourism, oil production, mining, and more. Many people look up to these countries to establish residency and live tax-free. Although taking advantage of living in a tax heaven is not as easy as packing a suitcase and buying a plane ticket, one has to go through several procedures. But in the end, it all depends upon the individual's circumstances and needs. Before we start with the list of countries, it's important to note that some of these countries might have corporate income tax and value-added tax, but overall, most of them don't levy personal income tax, capital gains tax, real estate tax, or payroll taxes. Additionally, some of these tax havens share little or none of their investors' financial information with foreign tax authorities. So here are 15 tax-friendly countries and territories in the world. Number 15. British Virgin Islands. The self-governing overseas territory of the United Kingdom British Virgin Islands are a group of islands in the Caribbean Sea, east of Puerto Rico. The dwarf state has a total area of only 150 square kilometers and a total coastline of 80 kilometers. Tourism accounts for over 45% of the country's total revenue, and the territory holds more than 5,000 times the value of what its economy should hold. Moreover, the US dollar is the official currency of the British Virgin Islands. This is because its economy is strongly tied to that of its American counterpart, the US Virgin Islands. Individuals in the BVI pay no income tax, land, or housing taxes. Plus, there's no capital gains tax, wealth tax, inheritance, or gift taxes. However, it's a place where only high net worth individuals can settle. The government only grants residency to those who are financially capable and intend to stay in the area permanently. Number 14. Anguilla. Anguilla is another British protectorate in the Caribbean. It's a place where foreign investors form lots of companies, as it serves as an ideal alternative to British Virgin Islands. Although it's only a small island with a mere area of only 91 square kilometers, it has a rich culture and its own identity. Furthermore, the country has a program for those who are looking for permanent residency or straightforward tax residency. Applicants can qualify for residency in Anguilla under the real estate investment option of $750,000. Number 13. Bahrain. When looking at what country has no tax, the Gulf countries are always at the top of the list. Located on the Persian Gulf, Bahrain is a tax-free nation that receives much of its wealth and government revenues from its oil discovery. While oil and natural gas account for 85% of Bahrain's budget, the country also has a thriving hospitality and retail sector. Those looking to establish residency in this tax-free country should know that citizenship in Bahrain is almost impossible, but permanent residency is still very easy and straightforward. To obtain its PR, an applicant just has to invest $135,000 in property or get employed for at least $1,500 in a Bahraini company. Number 12. Oman. This is another tax-free Middle Eastern country that is oil-rich. It's the oldest independent state in the Arab world, which is nowadays developing its tourism and shipping industry rapidly. The government is working to attract more expats into jobs in the country. Similar to other countries in the region, one can obtain a work permit via sponsorship, but there's an investment residency program option as well, which is only targeted towards the world's global elites. All in all, just like other Gulf countries, it's an interesting option among countries with no taxes, but living there long-term isn't generally appealing for most of people of the West. Number 11. Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda is an independent island nation located between the Caribbean and the Atlantic. There are two main islands which are separated by 63 kilometers. It's much bigger than Anguilla, with a population of almost 100,000. Like other countries in the region, it has a citizenship by investment program. It offers an excellent solution for high net worth families seeking access to the Caribbean and European markets, as well as visa-free access to key Asian financial centers. If you want a quick passport and are prepared to pay for it, this could be a good option. It's considered one of the top tax havens in the world, as there's no capital gains tax on worldwide income, attractive tax holidays on qualifying companies' profits for up to 20 years with waivers and exemptions on custom duties, and no inheritance or wealth taxes. Number 10. Vanuatu. Vanuatu is a South Pacific island nation. There are no income taxes, taxes on profits, dividends, or capital gains tax in this country. Moreover, it's generally easy and relatively less expensive to get a passport and residency in Vanuatu, as its citizenship by investment program is one of the easiest in the world. To qualify for this, all one has to do is donate $135,000 to the Vanuatu Development Support Program and $180,000 for a family of 4 plus fees. Number 9. Bermuda. Bermuda is yet another tax haven and British overseas territory located in the Atlantic. There's no income tax imposed on the individuals here. Not only that, there are no corporate income taxes, value-added taxes, or sales taxes either. However, it does impose a payroll tax, which is paid by the employers. On the downside, gaining residency there is very expensive, and its relatively isolated location makes the cost of living very high when compared to other places in the region. Nonetheless, it's much more developed than most Caribbean islands, with excellent roads and public transportation. And beyond that, from its famous pink sand beaches to its upscale restaurants, Bermuda is considered one of the most scenic and pleasant countries in the Caribbean. Number 8. Saint Barthélemy. Saint Barthélemy, a French-speaking Caribbean island commonly known as Saint Bart's, is most popular among the rich and the famous. It's home to an array of stunning beaches, luxury yachts, designer boutiques, and breathtaking restaurants. The island is one of the best to offer the freedom of no income tax or any other tax. However, there's a catch. New residents are subject to pay their taxes for the first year. Only after that, they will be able to enjoy the local tax exemption. While to become a resident of St. Bart's, applicants need to live on the island for over 6 months a year, for 5 years straight. But bear in mind, the cost of living and accommodation on this island is one of the most expensive in the world, and it's not easy to reside here for an average Joe. On the flip side, citizens from the US, Canada, and the EU can enter St. Bart's with a passport and stay for up to 90 days. Number 7. Turks and Caicos. Turks and Caicos is another British protectorate where one can live without ever filing a tax return. Residents here not only avoid paying income taxes, they also don't pay property tax, corporate tax, capital gains tax, or inheritance tax. It's definitely for those who prefer a peaceful and quiet existence though. The country offers 3 main pathways to permanent residency: investing a sufficient amount in real estate or in a local company to obtain a permanent residence certificate, getting annual residence permits, or by getting annual work permits. Number 6. Monaco. This is a sovereign city-state and microstate well renowned as a playground for Europe's super wealthy. It offers a glamorous lifestyle in the French Riviera with one of the most impressive marinas in the world, exclusive casinos, and a Formula One track right through the city. Although the country does not recognize itself as a tax haven, its personal income tax still stands at a 0% tax rate, while its corporate income taxes are now set at 25% since the start of 2022. On the contrary, its residency permits are practically only affordable for millionaires or those who can handle the high prices in the city. Nevertheless, its close proximity to France and the rest of Europe makes it a strategic tax residency than some isolated island in the middle of the ocean. Number 5. Qatar. Qatar is a tax-free country that has a lot in common with other Middle Eastern countries. First and foremost, its economy is based on oil as well, though Qatar's energy sector reaps additional benefits from natural gas. Secondly, tax is non-existent in the country, but there are some talks about introducing a value-added tax, but even that is anticipated at a rate of 2%. All things considered, Qatar has a diverse and modern economy and is relatively peaceful, making it a great location for those looking to avoid taxes. However, it's still difficult to establish residency. Number 4. The Bahamas. The Bahamas has great beaches and a wonderful climate. it does not impose income tax on its residents, regardless of where they earn their income. The government receives most of its revenue from its tourism and offshore industries. As Caribbean islands go, it's one of the relatively less expensive ones in which to live. Furthermore, it's politically stable and real estate purchase and rental prices are moderate compared to places like Monaco. Moreover, getting its temporary residence permit is as simple as paying $1,000 at the immigration office, and it's renewable every year. Although it's highly recommended to invest at least $300,000 in property to get on track or permanent residence. Number 3. St. Kitts and Nevis. St. Kitts and Nevis is one of the best tax-free countries where one can easily establish a residency or citizenship. To gain citizenship by investment, the price is far lower than in other nations as well. One can receive a passport and permanent residence for a $150,000 donation or an investment of $200,000 in real estate. On top of all this, the applicant is not even required to visit personally in the country to be eligible, while the processing time only takes 3 months. Number 2. The UAE. There are several oil-producing countries in the Middle East that don't charge income or corporate taxes. But the United Arab Emirates is one of the most appealing because it offers more freedom and opportunities with a stable government and economy. Additionally, becoming a resident of the UAE is also easier than in other Gulf countries. While a permanent residence program for foreign investors does not exist, there are a plethora of other visa policies for digital nomads, retirees, and investors which are transparent and easier to navigate. What's more, it's home to thousands of expats who mostly stay in the cities of Dubai or Abu Dhabi, and air links to the rest of the world from these cities are among the best. Number 1. Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands is a tropical island nation situated between the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. Just like other countries on the list, there's no personal income tax in the Cayman Islands. Not just that, there are no gift tax, estate tax, inheritance tax, or even capital gains tax on worldwide income. It is the most notorious among the tax-free island states because it's an important offshore financial center. Many overseas investors choose to establish their companies in the country. To get its residence permit, applicants will have to demonstrate annual income of $120,000. Alternatively, one can deposit $400,000 in local financial institution and invest $500,000 in real estate.